Is Gennady Golovkin avoiding the real competition? Is Gennady Golovkin avoiding the real matches, the warriors, the killers in the division? Okay, I'm going to read you an article. I'm not going to tell you, who wrote the article, but I'm going to read it. They're basically bashing Gennady Golovkin, and it does, ask the question, is he avoiding the tough competition? Did he sell out? Is it legacy or money? And we've talked about it a lot on the channel, but, this kind of shines a new light on it for me. And to be honest, I'm at a crossroad, okay? Of course, I'm a Gennady Golovkin fan. Just watch the channel. It's not hard to figure out, right? I'd say he's my, top 5 all-time favorites, right? But lately, I'm kind of having like this doubt in my head, second guessing, where I rank him in the whole, history of boxing and even in the middleweight division. So, and it goes back to, the belts. It's all we heard. Give me my belt. I want the belts, and he needed the WBO, and he, loses the IBF and chasing Canelo. I'm not going to bore you with the history, it. Let me read you this, okay? And bear with me. And by the way, I'm going to go live pretty soon. You guys turn on your notification, hit the bell. I'm not quite sure what you need to do. I don't know, just hit the bell or something and pop up when I'm live or whatever. But because that way you guys can talk to me, because I don't like arguing or debating with people in the comment section. I just don't like it. So I'd rather, give you a platform, give you a microphone, let your voice be heard in real time. That way we can talk directly. So that's what I want to do for you guys. So, and also a quick shout out, to the real boxing fans out there. I want to address something, 30 seconds, okay? First of all, I created the channel for you, okay? You guys know I don't hardly make any money on this channel. I really don't make any money at all, okay? If you want to get real about it. I do it for you guys and for the love of boxing. It's a hobby, it's a passion, that's why I do it. And you guys tell me, I'm the greatest channel, you're the greatest thing, I only watch your channel. But then I make a video, Anthony Joshua maybe, or it could be anything. Might be this video you're listening to now, and all of a sudden I'm the worst thing that's ever been on YouTube. Oh my God, you suck, you're garbage, you're trash, I hate you, I'm going to unsub from your channel. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy. It's okay. It's okay to have a difference in opinion. Just because you don't like, one video I make or one comment I make, comment, doesn't mean, you need to flush 2 years of my hard work down the toilet. You're never going to find a boxing channel that caters to your every need and thought. It's not going to happen. If you like 7 out of 10 videos, I'm doing something right. If you like half of my videos, I'm doing something right. So I just want to, put that out there. It drives me crazy when, you hear these guys in the comment section complaining like, oh, this isn't doing anything for your channel, buddy, and I'm going to leave, and bye, later, dude. Go watch Ego or whoever. And I'm sorry that my opinion doesn't cater to yours, so it's just crazy. It's like if you have a difference in opinion, you're garbage, you're crap. You're biased. You're this. You're that. It's like no. It's an opinion. So these people just get butthurt and whatever. At the end of the day, I just laugh at it. So all right, let me read the article to you. Okay, he goes on to say. I called out Gennady Golovkin last year as well. Golovkin has long claimed he wanted to unify the middleweight title. I called bullshit on that claim when he first said it. He is not willing to fight anyone. Oh, hang on, somebody's texting me. He's not willing to fight anyone anywhere. He only wants to fight big names for money and will avoid any tough fights out there. He said he will go to 154 to fight a 40-year-old retired Mayweather. Both of the Charlo brothers, Jermell and Jamal, called him out at that weight, and he didn't even bother to respond. Talking about when they were both at light middleweight, they call him out. Doesn't say a word, but he says, of course I'll fight Mayweather. This is like the big argument I've heard on the other side, okay? And we'll get into what I actually think about all that in a minute, okay? Then he says, then Gennady Golovkin then got the fight he wanted with the undersized middleweight Canelo Alvarez. The fight ended in a controversial draw. At that point, Gennady Golovkin should have fought then WBO champion Billy Joe Saunders. Gennady Golovkin ran from that fight like Usain Bolt in a 100-meter. Instead, he wanted to fight Alvarez again. So he ran from Billy Joe Saunders. He ducked both Charlos. So that's what this guy's saying. When Alvarez was suspended, Gennady Golovkin still refused to fight either Saunders, Daniel Jacobs, his mandatories, who was his mandatory. Gennady Golovkin tried to fight a younger, undersized middleweight, Jaime Munguia. Okay. Instead, when that fell through, he still didn't take either of those fights, which resulted in him being stripped of the title, I believe the IBF. Okay, Gennady Golovkin got his fight with Alvarez. Again, he spent most of it running away from the small Mexican redhead. Okay, the WBC gave him a path back to his titles by facing one of the people he ran away from, Jermall Charlo. Gennady Golovkin, of course, declined that fight and would only talk about how he thought he won the Canelo fights, and he's whining that he lost, okay? Whether he thought that or not, or anyone thought he won, doesn't matter. What does matter is that he has a loss and ran away from being named Alvarez's mandatory because he didn't want to fight Charlo. So, I mean, that doesn't make any sense, but you get what the guy's trying to say. In 2019, Gennady Golovkin will be running from both Charlo and Billy Joe Saunders. I do not believe he will fight either one of them, nor will he go up in weight to capture a super middleweight title like Alvarez did. He will try to talk himself into a third match with Alvarez and avoid any tough fights. Look for him to fight anyone not named Charlo, Jacobs, or Saunders in 2019-2020. Okay, so quick recap. The guy claims that, he's ducking the Charlos, he's ducking Billy Joe Saunders, he's ducking everybody, right? Chasing the money. Now, he's got a point to a degree. Now, let me read what this one guy responded. He said, okay, and I'll read you a couple. He goes, okay, you're just another racist, biased idiot that has an unfortunate privilege of posting on here. And this is the forum I was reading today. He said, FFS, for fuck's sake, this site is too desperate for contributions. Why don't you call out Canelo for building his career fighting older and much smaller guys and having corrupt judges gift him decisions? Who cares about running or avoiding fights? Nothing is so pathetic as Canelo and Golden Boy. I have no problem with almost any boxer right now because I'm not racist like so many people on here. I like Loma, Crawford, Gennady Golovkin, I like Garcia. Race doesn't matter to me. Oh, but let me guess, you probably wouldn't have anything bad to say about a Mexican Latin fighter. Certainly not Canelo. GTFO, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Okay, pretty much all you can say about Gennady Golovkin is that while he was wrapped up in the Canelo fights, he wasn't able to make some of the other fights for obvious and expected reasons. When you're making a big fight, you also can't take big risks in between. Boxing 101. Gennady Golovkin is also a very natural middleweight. I doubt he will move up. It seems so many people on the site are bigots. The fighter has done no wrong. It's just the other guy's race, always the other guy. Okay, so his claim or his argument, it's a good one. He's saying, look, Triple G was basically screwed over in the beginning, and he's getting to the end of his career, and, yeah, he wants the big fights. And remember, back in the day when he wanted to fight everyone, and no one would step up. Remember this, okay? This is what people quickly forget. Is, finally Canelo stepped up to the plate. He beat Miguel Cotto in November 2015, got the WBC vacated, fights Amir Khan, all this. And meanwhile, okay, you've got the Charlos. They were at 154, not middleweight. Okay, so then Charlo moves up, but at that time, Triple G was tied up in the whole Canelo world. So there's a good reason a lot of the fights didn't happen, so I can see it from both ways. But there is one pass that I will not give Triple G. I simply will not. And hang on, I'm going to tell you here. I'm looking for something right now. And I'll tell you, is the Billy Joe Saunders. I think he should have went after that WBO. And that's that. Before the Canelo fight, when they tried to, remember they benched Gennady Golovkin. When Canelo was fighting Chavez, Oscar De La Hoya says, no. If you fight, you're not getting Canelo. And like a good little boy, he basically sat on the sideline, and didn't want to mess up that payday. So that is one thing that I will never excuse out of him. He should have said, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do. And, if you want me, come get me. But I'm going to secure my legacy and go fight Billy Joe Saunders. So that's one pass that I will not give Triple G ever. Okay, probably the biggest mistake of his career. Now, this guy here says, still with the anyone from 154 to 168 talk. That was 7 years ago. Okay, he was desperate for a big fight, like I just said, and could not get one. He finally gets his shot at 160, and Golovkin doesn't have to beg for fights, except against Alvarez, of course, but still, we have to hear that he needs to go to 154 to fight Erislandy Lara, then 175 to fight Andre Ward, then back down to 147 to fight Mayweather, blah 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 blah. Okay, even the anti-fans gave that up in 2016. He doesn't have to move up and down like a damn yo-yo just so you can see him bite off more than he can chew. Okay, as for him being nowhere to be found, it's only been 5 months since he fought Alvarez. Yes, he should be making a good fight right now, so you can start talking about 154 again. By the way, yeah, I won't read that part. It gets a little ugly. It gets a little ugly right there. But you see his point. You know, so I mean, the thing is, there's a great argument on both sides, but I think the best argument is in favor of Triple G. Okay, but like I said, I do agree with a lot of it. I do. You know, since the rematch, where the hell is Gennady Golovkin? It's like finding Waldo. What happened? Where is he at? You know, we don't look, technically, we don't even know who he's going to sign with or if he's going to sign with anyone. Dude might retire, you know? I mean, I've been told by a very reliable source that there's going to be a trilogy, Mexico City, blah, 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 you know, all that. But where the hell is Triple G? Meanwhile, you got Canelo, you know, moving up, getting a belt, you know, Rocky Fielding, whatever, garbage fight, but he did what he did, okay? You know, signing a huge deal with DAZN. And then we have, you know, we heard rumors that Gennady Golovkin is doing the same thing, but where is he? You know, I don't like this radio silence. Like, it just, you know, doesn't bode well, right? It just doesn't go over very well in my book, okay? You know, look, another point that I want to bring up, okay? You look at Bernard Hopkins, okay? 55, 8, and 2. He was born in 1965, okay? Born in 1965. So you go back. So Triple G is about 36, 37 years old, roughly. So you go back when Bernard Hopkins was Gennady Golovkin's current age, and look at who he was fighting. Okay, it's incredible. You know, so as far as, you know, Gennady Golovkin being old and washed up and things like that, you know, I go back and I look, okay, let's see, like, what was Bernard Hopkins doing when he was 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So you got to go back to 2005, okay? Because, you know, if you just do the math, he's 52, 53 right now. So you go back about 15 years or so, and it puts you around the 2005 mark. You know, Jermaine Taylor, right? Let's see, Antonio Tarver. Calzaghe, like, I love to watch Calzaghe fight. One of my favorite, Joe Calzaghe, one of my favorite fighters to watch. I mean, I think he's so underestimated, doesn't get enough shine. You know, Roy Jones Jr. in 2010. Okay, I'm looking at BoxRec right now. You know, so 2005, and of course he lost against Jermaine Taylor, you know, both by decision, but then he beats Antonio Tarver, you know, beats Ronald White, loses to Calzaghe, okay, then he beats Kelly Pavlik, okay, gets a decision over Roy Jones in 2010. I mean, it's just incredible when you really start to look at it. You know, goes on. I think he got didn't he beat, or was it a draw? Yeah, I think it was a draw against Jean Pascal, right? And then comes back, wins against Pascal. Okay, fought Chad Dawson, loses. You know, fights Kovalev. I mean, he lost against Kovalev, but it was a decision. The dude went 12 freaking rounds, and this is back when Kovalev was the crusher. Okay. And Bernard Hopkins is, what was he, 48, 49, 50 years old? Damn near a 50-year-old man against the crusher, Sergey Kovalev. Okay, not this new Kovalev that we know of today. So you look at that, and I don't really want to hear anything about age, you know, because it is, look, age is what you make of it. I mean, it does matter in boxing, don't get me wrong. I realize Bernard Hopkins, they call him the alien because he's a special breed. Like, most humans can't do that. Even Roy Jones Jr., you know, fought late in his career. I believe he has another fight coming up pretty soon, like a little exhibition match or whatever. You know, but you go back and you look at all the great middleweights, and this is back when man, them fights were tough. This is back when the best fought the best. But when has Golovkin been in a war, right? When has Golovkin been in there in a bloody battle war, you know, and took a ton of damage? I mean, probably the most damage he's taken is in the Canelo fight, and it really wasn't that bad. Okay, you know, little lump here, little bruise there, little cut here. And by the way, they showed that cut was from, it was either an elbow or a headbutt. Someone on YouTube did a great job showing where that cut came from. And it wasn't from, you know, an onslaught of punches. It was from an elbow or a headbutt. So look it up. If you don't believe me, look it up. But my point is, you know, Golovkin has never been involved in a bloodbath war. So there's not a whole lot of wear and tear on him. So, you know, that's one thing that, you know, you got to keep in mind. So, you know, as far as, you know, which way do you go? Did he sell out? You know, is he ducking, you know, fighters? I don't know, man. It's really hard. And like I said, I'm at a fork in the road right now. And I guess a lot of it, too, with me depends on what he does next, right? What's he going to do next? You know, are we going to get some keep busy fight and then the Canelo trilogy and it's going to be another boring decision? I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. You know, I want to see Golovkin, if he's going to, look, here's the thing. If you're going to stay active and compete in boxing, you need to compete against the best, you know, especially when you're a guy like Gennady Golovkin, who a lot of people feel is the real champion. He was robbed, okay? Regardless of that, you know, they can't put them in here with these cab drivers. You know, I want to see a Charlo, a Billy Joe Saunders, you know, a Demetrius Andrade. Maybe I give Daniel Jacobs a rematch, you know, something, anything, any top five, and I'm cool. Any top five, and I'm completely cool. So that's that fork in the road I'm at now. It's like his legacy is being written as we speak, right? So, you know, you can't really, it's like Jim Lampley, I don't like him, but he put it best. He said you can only really truly understand a fighter's legacy long after they retired. And it's very true. So when people ask me about his legacy, I don't really know right now because, you know, you have to look back at it and look at the whole package, look at the whole picture. You get the inside information, things you didn't know before. You know, you just do your homework and then you come up with what you think and what it really is. And right now, we don't know. You know, we simply don't know. And now what I would like to see happen, I'd love to see him beat Canelo in a trilogy, right? Then he gets I believe 3 of the belts, okay, and then go after, you know, maybe the winner of in the Jacobs fight. I mean, that'd be great, you know, something like that. And then, you know, he could be the undisputed champion and maybe right the wrongs of the past, you know, possibly. So I don't know. But, you know, as far as going back to the channel, and I'm going to end it here, but look, you guys, you know, y'all got to cut me some slack. You know, it's not easy to get on YouTube each and every day and tell you exactly what you want to hear all the damn time. You know, I mean, I'm a free-thinking person. Even, look, maybe I get it wrong sometimes. Okay, I'm cool with that. You know, I don't know everything, you know, and there's been a lot of times where I made a video and a week later I'm like, man, I was completely wrong. And I leave it up. I don't take it down like other channels will do. And, you know, I gave my opinion on Anthony Joshua in this Big Baby Miller fight and I don't like it. I'm not for it. Okay, and there's a lot of reasons, and it's mainly I just don't like how these promoters milk the boxing fans. It's not so much that I'm against Anthony Joshua or any fighter for that matter. It's more I have a problem with the promoters and the way they milk you, the boxing fans. Now, a lot of people are saying that, you know, Anthony Joshua is taking a page right out of the Canelo playbook, you know, with building his career, you know, basically building his career, you know, against a bunch of, you know, old nobodies or people that are coming up or contenders or whatever, or BS mandatories, you know, before he takes on the real competition, you know, basically just like Canelo did. Okay. So, And I see that pattern. I do. I see that pattern. So, I get it. It's cool that he's coming coming to United States or the United States and coming to Madison Square Garden. And, that's cool. Whatever. I like that. But I would like this better, okay, if they said, all right, look, we're going to give you, Big Baby Miller, AJ, but we guarantee you Anthony Joshua will fight the winner of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. No problem. Cool. I would have no problem with that whatsoever. But that's not what they're telling you. Okay? That's not what they're telling you. I mean, the likelihood of Anthony Joshua fighting Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder next after Baby Miller, it's not likely. It's not likely. In fact, I don't even think we'll get that fight in 2019. Probably going to be 2020. Back in the UK. O2 Arena, that's what I believe. So that's what I don't like. They're going to get 2 more, Anthony Joshua fights out of you, which is millions and millions of dollars in their pockets before they give you the fight that should have happened. And you got to remember, this fight is 4 years in the making. These guys have been champions since 2015. Okay, Bermane Stiverne and then Anthony Joshua, I forget who he beat, but they both won their belts in 2015. Okay, I mean, we're coming up on 2020. We're coming up on half a decade. Okay, 10 years is a decade. We're coming up on half a damn decade, and these guys have not seriously talked about making the fight happen, other than a bunch of diva, social media back and forth. Okay, so I don't know, guys. I'm babbling. I'm probably going to leave it at that. This is why I need to go live, because I have so much boxing shit in my head that I just want to tell you guys, and I could probably talk for about 3 or 4 hours without, so much as taking a breath. But and I try to keep my videos short because I know you guys watch about 3 minutes of them. So hopefully you made it this far. If you made it to the end, let me know in the comment section.